What's up, TSOD fam? How you doing on this Wednesday night, December 17th, 2025? All right, so I'm back with another live stream for you guys. I'm going to try to keep it short and sweet tonight. It's really just a little bit of an, mostly an update video to, all the news with AB1263. Yes, it's coming. All right. In a couple days, a week or two, it'll be here. And really, I'm just trying to navigate all the ins and outs of this new law that is coming into effect. This stream is primarily to just inform everybody. And, let me be clear, guys, I am by no means necessarily the expert when it comes to this law because it's so brand new. There's a lot of things to it, but I received a ton of questions from the last live stream about this new law and different things and what does it pertain to and so on and so forth. So this stream is just trying to clear things up, provide some clarity to everybody, including myself, after I've had a few days to sort of analyze and research and see all, most of the information that's there. Like the law is clear cut, right? You just read it chapter and verse, and you would think that it would be clear cut to the point where everything would be clear, right? Just clear as mud. But anyway, so this stream is all about navigating this new law and some of the things it's going to affect. We're going to be talking about a little bit more in-depth details about some of the things, parts, accessories that are covered under this new law in terms of all these different hoops that we're going to have to jump through to hopefully be able to obtain these parts. If some of these if some of these companies are still going to decide to sell them, they got to go through a whole bunch of different steps and things to be able to make their website or their ability to sell these parts compliant with the law. So it's crazy, guys. But I appreciate you guys tuning in to tonight's live stream, and hope to hopefully provide a little bit of clarity on everything that's going on. So let's take a look at this. It looks like a release or a summary that was released by Gun Owners of California. I'll switch over to it here. Give me a sec. And we'll just kind of read through it together. They actually provide a pretty good roll up or breakdown of sort of what this law covers and what it doesn't cover. So I think that's pretty cool. So just to summarize it, it says, how does AB 1263 change the current law? So basically it makes it a crime to cause, assist, and you guys can watch my cursor right here, cause, assist, promote another person's unlawful manufacture of firearms using CNC machines, 3D printers, and similar devices. Now, I had, somebody hit me up in one of the comments from the previous live stream talking about ghost guns. As you can see here, they talk about it here. Me personally, I'm not the one labeling it a ghost gun, right? The media, the lawmakers, they are labeling it as a ghost gun. If you want to build your own firearms via a certain source or whatever, you just have to comply by the laws. There's legal ways to do that, but I'm not the one labeling it as a ghost gun. It was labeled as a ghost gun bill. So I'm just kind of throwing it out there just so everybody is aware of that. So some things that are going to be covered under this are things like barrels, other accessories, and I'll switch over to another article here. This one's from California Rifle and Pistol Association. It's a good gun rights group here in California that really focuses on just trying to preserve the rights of California firearms owners, and CRPA released a statement or an information bulletin kind of breaking down the specific codes or the law that was created. And it talks about the things that are basically going to be covered under this to the point where you're not going to be able to just hop online, hop on a website, and be able to just order some of the, this stuff to your home. All right. Now, a lot of these things that you're seeing here up on the screen, these are things that were kind of covered under the assault weapons ban or ban long time ago. So this stuff right here is like nothing new. So, pistol grips, stocks, these are things that you won't, it's covered under the law. You won't be able to 3D print any of these things, barrels, magazines, things like that. You're going to have to go through a whole new sort of identity verification process, as well as an address verification process as well. Again, you guys can check this out. You can have on, Google CRPA. They've got this bulletin here, and it goes fairly in depth about the law and some of the things that are covered. So 1263, it amends the definition of firearm manufacturing machine. So it's not only 3D printers, right? It's also, CNC machines, CAD machines, things like that. These are all covered. So things like, something as simple as, an ejection port cover that's probably printed by a CNC machine. That is one of those things that is going to most likely fall under this new law. And number one, you can still purchase it, right? They haven't flat out made it illegal to purchase these things. They have just added additional steps to make it harder, for, I would say, most law-abiding California residents to be able to purchase this. And then they place these burdens on a lot of these firearms manufacturers and companies as well, that they're going to have to implement a lot of these steps in order for them to be able to sell it to you and for you to be able to receive it. So there's going to be an identity verification process. I don't know what that's going to be, whether that's your ID, you got to upload it, they verify it, and then somehow they have to match that shipping address for that item to your address, right? That's on your ID as well. So it's crazy. And then on top of that, it also has to have signature verification or whatever. It needs to be signed for. So that's a whole nother step, especially if you're working all day and you don't get home until, basically the postman or woman, postal person drops off your packages. Like, you're never going to be able to pick that up. And it's not like somebody, your significant other or son, whoever, somebody that lives at your place is going to be able to sign for that stuff for you. That's not the case. So it's going to need signature verification. Now, one of the things that, I saw on one of the forums was like, okay, you could reach out to the post office and just have them hold the package, there, and then go sign for it. That's one way instead of missing the package. So we'll see how that goes. So real quick, before I go a little bit deeper into the show here and talking a little bit more about 1263, the chat is up and running. It's only on for subscribers right now. So if you're a subscriber, this is a little bit of a Q&A. It's not just a one-way conversation. And you're watching the stream, hit me up. I'd love to hear your questions. Appreciate the questions. They're all good questions that you guys are posting in the chat during the live stream, after the live stream. And I'm trying my best to figure out some of the answers to those questions and answer them for you guys. But chat's up. If you're not a subscriber, consider subscribing. So that way you can post in the chat right now. So anyway, 1263 here. CRPA has a really good article. You guys can look it up. CRPA, California Rifle and Pistol Association, their information bulletin, and it goes pretty in depth. So this bill is targeting, 3D printers, CNC machines, and any of the files to be able to make those. It's not saying that you can't still print your own firearm in a legal sense and get it registered. But the sharing of some of those files and the manufacture of some of them, there are some specifics that you need to look into to keep yourself out of hot water. So just a little bit more background here that they included in, here, I'm going to switch this over for you guys so you can see exactly what I'm seeing. Yeah, so, I mean, this bill is just going to make it absolutely ridiculous. And I know for a fact some of these manufacturers are just going to straight up, you know, completely either pull out of California altogether, or I don't know, it might take them a while to figure out this process for these extra steps that this law is imposing on all of us. All right, primarily on the firearms accessory, you know, companies that are out there. Let's take a look at this article here. This one's on phase 5. I thought this was a really good article. I was just reading up on it earlier, and I think it really gives a good summary as to what's going to be affected. So I'll just read it for you guys. Those of you that are just listening, you're just doing stuff around the house. So starting in 2026, California residents that are ordering gun parts online, they have to provide a matching ID and a residential address. They're going to have to receive those shipments only at the address on the ID, sign for every single delivery, acknowledge a state mandated statement. So that's the other one too. When you're buying these parts, you have to acknowledge some sort of statement saying that, I don't know, these parts were manufactured with some sort of CNC 3D print. I don't know exactly. So it's saying that most California gun shops source their inventory online, which is true, right? That most of the local gun shops, they don't have some like mill in the back and they're making all these parts and they got a whole team that is getting them prepped and ready. It just doesn't work like that. They're having to purchase them online themselves and get them shipped in. So these requirements from this law also apply to these FFLs, bringing inventory into the state. So yeah, it's going to be crazy. So some of the things that you're gonna see here pretty soon, once the inventory sort of dries up, is you're gonna see empty shelves, delayed restocking, increased prices, right, to be able to get them in, just because of all the drama that comes along with this new bill, this new law. And then just overall confusion, right? There's a lot of confusion right now, a lot of questions as to what this pertains to. Let's see here. Thought CRPA had a good one. There was one of these that actually covered a lot of the items. Had a good... So this one right here from CRPA actually, so FLIR launchers, right? Flash suppressors, pistol grips, grenade launchers. Okay, that was already banned or, you know, part of the law before. So stocks, magazines, semi-automatic action components, centerfire action components. So what does that component actually mean, right? What does that component actually mean? Is there a specific definition? The DOJ, or California DOJ, to my knowledge, has not released a full-on exact part list of what is banned, because how are some of these online sales platforms, such as, let's say, Amazon, right, for instance, or eBay or something, or even Etsy, how are they going to be able to know and comply? Is it just site-wide, certain categories of things that are sold on there, primarily firearms parts? Are they going to have a specific label? How are they going to implement this identity verification to go along with the address verification on some of those sites where we like to buy firearms parts, you know, that are custom made, and some of them are CNC made, some of them are 3D printed. How is that implementation going to go? So there is going to be confusion. There are going to be delays. And then does it blanket cover every single part that was ever made with a CNC machine or a 3D printer? Any piece of plastic, right? Or metal? Don't know yet. But Let me know what you guys are thinking. What are you guys' thoughts on this? If you guys already panic bought, everybody's panic buying, right? I'm panic buying. I've got stuff in the cart and got stuff shipped that I just kind of had on the back burner because I'll get it later. I'll get it next year. It's like, nope, getting it now. So let me know what you guys' thoughts on this, this whole new law that's going into effect on the 1st. Let's see. Let me see what else I can find. Let me see if I can find a list of companies that are just like, nope, not selling to firearm parts to anybody in California anymore. I'm out. And honestly, it's, that's fine. If they want to bounce, I think what that's going to do is open up the market for other manufacturers that are willing to grind it out, do what they need to do to be able to comply with the law and still be able to provide firearms parts, components to California residents, right? People that live in California. So I'm here on Reddit, right? Cruise around on Reddit throughout the day just to see what's on there. There's a lot of good discussions on there. Some of them are just kind of nonsense, but I'm on CA Guns, my Reddit profile, TSOD. Sean, you guys can go and find me. I post random stuff about firearms on there, and I mostly just kind of see what news is going on specifically for California, right? Because that's what this law is tailored to. But it looks like PSA Armory, right? Everybody loves PSA, or at least some people love PSA. So they put out a statement about their policy in AB1263. So it says and this is what we already talked about, the affected product categories, right? So pistol grips, to include forward pistol grips, thumbhole stocks, folding telescoping stocks, flare and grenade launchers, flash suppressors, flash hiders, shrouds, hand guards, all types of hand grips, other firearms accessories, parts, or tools identified by the state of California as being potentially usable in the manufacture of firearms. Now, what does that other firearms accessories and parts really mean? I don't know. So, looks like PSA is still willing to play ball. I know there's other vendors out there that are just like, you know what? I'm out. I'm going to supply parts to people in other states that are not, anti-Second Amendment, anti-firearm, such as California for the most part. But yeah, that's kind of what I know. Let's see what Midway's talking about. Midway is a large online firearms supplier, and Midway is basically saying that you're gonna have to check a box confirming that you understand the law. Current state ID will be required to complete an order, and it looks like they have an upload, or they're already building or working some type of upload mechanism to their Midway site. It looks like you're going to have to upload your license on every single order. Orders must be shipped to an address on your ID, and then orders must be shipped to or for an adult signature required for delivery. So it's crazy. But let me know what you guys think. The chat is up and going for subscribers. If you're a subscriber, you can send me a message in the chat, something on your mind specifically. Maybe I can look it up. Hopefully we can figure this out together. But yeah, I'm just doing a short little stream tonight. I think the stream might be glitching a little bit, or it might be hanging up. Hopefully not. I'll try to fix that on the next stream, but hopefully you guys can hear me and see me pretty easily. All right, what else? So we talked about CRPA's release or their bulletin. So here's the one big thing about the misdemeanor piece, right? And that is specifically for the sharing of these files, to be able to print, like firearms parts, grips. I don't know exactly. Frame, all right. If you share those files, you send them out there, you could be in violation of this law, and you can be hit with a misdemeanor, as well as you could basically lose your privilege in the state of California to carry a firearm for up to 10 years and be able to buy and own a firearm. All right, so that is the misdemeanor part. So just be aware of that. They're really specifically honing in on that. Not only 3D printers, but CNC machines and CAD machines. And that goes into effect on January 1st. All right. So what else? Hey guys, don't forget about the giveaway at the end of this month. We're going to do a live stream on it. We're going to be giving away a TSOD hoodie as well as a beanie to a subscriber. So you have to be subscribed to be able to enter the win for that. If you don't have your profile set to public, just comment in one of the videos, subscribe, 100% subscribe, and then comment and said, hey, I'm a subscriber, or just make your subscriptions public, and then I'll be able to see you in the list of all the other people. But I'm just letting you know it's going to be a lot harder for me to kind of dig through a bunch of videos to see that. So easiest bet is to just have your subscriptions public. That way I can just go down the list, and one lucky winner will win a TSOD hoodie as well as a beanie at the end of this month for supporting the channel. All right, what else, guys? I think I've covered everything that I've been wanting to cover for the last day or two. Like I said, the chat is up and going. So if you're a subscriber, or if you just subscribed, you got to wait 5 minutes before you can post in the chat. But I would love to hear your questions. I know there was a lot of questions. I'll try to go back to one of my other videos so I can actually, let me just pull up my phone here, and I'll see if I can pull up some of the questions that you guys asked me on the previous live stream I did on AB1263. There was a lot of really good questions on there. So I just want to, that's kind of why I did this live stream, is to be able to kind of help answer some of those comments. So let's see. Somebody said in the chat, let's see here. One of the guys said, ghost guns aren't 3D printed guns, bro. Ghost guns are serialized guns. Yep, I'm totally aware, right? You could print a gun and go through all the legal steps to be able to get that serialized and registered appropriately. Ghost guns are what this bill is labeled as, so that's what we're going with. And that's the media and the lawmakers saying that. What else? Another subscriber's like, I'm tired, boss. Yeah, me too. I'm tired of the BS. California has some really stupid gun laws, right? I don't agree with most of them. Some of them are a little common sense, but most of them are not, right? They encroach heavily on our Second Amendment rights, so I'm not about that. What about lights and lasers from Amazon or eBay? I think lights and lasers will probably be good, right? I think those will be good. I don't necessarily think those are really part of the manufacture or the production of a firearm necessarily. Yes, it is an accessory, it's an other part, but we're gonna have to wait for some clarification from the California DOJ. They're gonna have to release some type of clarification on the exact parts, because you're gonna have a ton of these questions, and a lot of these online not manufacturers, but sellers, right? Suppliers of firearm parts, they're gonna be wondering what the heck, man. And so are buyers too. So there's gonna have to be a lot. There's gonna be a lot of back and forth. There's gonna be legal challenges to this as well. Don't think people are just gonna roll over and sort of play dead on this one. I think there's gonna be legal challenges to it on the constitutionality of it. I don't know where it'll go. It'll probably take like freaking 3 years or more before anything is done. But in the meantime, most likely this law will stay into effect until there's any sort of real relief in the event that this law is unconstitutional. All right, so another person said, this is talking about getting a barrel. Most people are just like, yep, they're panic buying up as much as they can right now before this thing goes into effect. Now we're getting close. We're getting close to January 1st. Like, so if you haven't bought something yet, man, good luck if you're gonna get this thing shipped before Christmas, and then you got New Year's on top of that. So I'm not telling you to panic buy, but if you don't order your stuff soon, good luck on getting that stuff before the first. Now, if you've already bought it, technically you'll be good, to my knowledge. I don't know. I guess if it's already in the mail before this law goes into effect on January 1st, you might be good. Don't quote me on this, guys. I'm just wargaming here, hypothesizing. But yeah, I appreciate you guys tuning in. It seems like we got a lot of viewers right now. Yeah, like I said, send me a message if you guys got a question on something, just like they asked about the lights and lasers. I personally, this is me, in my opinion, I don't think lasers and lights will be part of this whole new law. Will be wrapped up in it. I think you should probably be able to order those just fine, but who knows? It's not clear cut and defined, and most of these laws, when they write them, they're not clear, and they're designed to cause a lot of confusion and chaos, hopefully frustrate you, me, the suppliers, the people that manufacture these parts for us. And it takes a long time to go through the legal system, right? So anyway, appreciate you guys tuning in. Consider subscribing to the channel. I'm releasing a ton of new content, just like I told you guys, right? I told you I was going to be releasing a ton of new content, and that's what I'm doing. I do what I say. All right. Man of my word. So releasing a ton of new stuff for you guys. Got a bunch of range videos that are coming out, bunch more product demos. Got a nice little surprise for you. Got a little, sponsorship. Got some gear coming in from a couple different companies that they're sending me to sort of test and review for you guys. And some of the stuff, they just give it to me, to keep it. And guess what? I'm just going to give all that stuff away, or at least some of it, most of it. I'm going to keep the cool stuff, right? Who knows? I might give away some of the cool stuff, but I will be giving away a bunch of gear. A lot of the gear that I review from these companies, I will just be doing giveaways to subscribers, members for sure. Consider being a member, right? I've got some classes that I've been working on, some basic firearms classes. We're going to be doing live streams of range days, some new toys and different things that I'll be showing you, different drills and ways to be better, more comfortable, more safe with firearms. So consider becoming a member. I've got a members only group chat that you guys can sort of get a hold of me throughout the day when I'm not, doing live streams like this or dropping videos. It's going to be a members only group chat, most likely on Discord, as well as you're going to get access to a lot of my training videos, online classes. Classes are going to be small, probably only like 10 people, and we're just going to be going over the basics and maybe some other stuff when it comes to firearms, right? So look at that coming down the pipe. But I will probably wrap up this live stream because it looks like I covered a lot of the stuff. I'll just briefly go back over to Gun Owners of California. They released an overview statement of a lot of the stuff that is going to come out of this bill. So as I kind of wrap things up, basically 1263, we all know it goes into effect on January 1st. Makes it a crime to assist, promote the unlawful manufacture of firearms and certain components, or really firearms using CNC machines, 3D printers, and similar devices. Expands the definition of digital firearm manufacturing code. So those files, these cam files, adds barrels, magazines, stocks, grips, and things like that into the things that, yes, they can still be sold. However, you got to jump through a bunch of hoops and steps to be able to obtain them. Those suppliers now have to implement on their sites or whatever, however you're going to be able to purchase these things, identity verification, address verification, and oh, by the way, once it gets shipped, it requires an adult signature. So you're gonna have to sign for this stuff, guys. So these are the steps, right, that these lawmakers implement, not flat outright banning firearms, right? His Constitution, Second Amendment clearly states that, but putting up a lot of different roadblocks to be able to obtain those parts. And it starts with one little step, and then it's 2 and 3, and before you know it, yeah. So you guys know how that goes. I don't want to go down the rabbit hole on that. So the other thing too, I forgot what article I was reading. This new law opens up the door to like civil penalties, civil penalties. So basically, if somebody were to use one of these said files to create one of these 3D printed or whatever CNC firearms now, and it wasn't done through whatever legal steps, and someone were to get injured, or possibly the other thing, really bad thing, you could now be sued from that individual, right? And they could come back later and sue you after the fact. So it's crazy. It's not fun. It's not good, in my opinion. Much of the stuff in this bill. So it's just something for you guys to be aware of. So I think I covered everything on this one. Appreciate you guys kind of tuning in, sticking around on this, late night live stream. But yeah, it's not fun, guys. So if I get more information on this, or if somehow California DOJ, because they're the ones that are really going to have to like enforce this and prosecute someone or charge someone with a misdemeanor for all this stuff, hopefully they will be releasing some type of statement or clarification sometime in the near future, probably sometime next year after it goes into effect and there's all this chaos and what ifs and questions and so on and so forth. We'll see if they release something. If they release something, I will definitely come back on with another live stream to be able to provide you guys with those updates. But in the meantime, make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. That way, you guys will get a heads up anytime that I'm coming on. And I don't just cover California stuff. I cover stuff, 2A stuff, firearms related stuff from all over the country, but obviously California resident. So got to focus on a lot of the stuff going on at home plate. But definitely we'll be covering some other larger 2A legal cases and things that affect us in terms of the Second Amendment going forward. So I'm going to wrap up this stream. I appreciate everybody for tuning in. I know it's kind of late, but definitely wanted to provide an update or a little bit of clarification as to what all the requirements are, what is covered, and how this is really going to affect people here in just a few weeks or a couple days here in 2026. So appreciate you guys for tuning into the stream. Appreciate you, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and I will see you guys again soon here on the TSOD channel. Peace.